APIs are the backbone of modern applications in AI. This has led to the adoption of runtime API security tools. These tools are excellent at finding and cataloging of API risks, but lack the code-level context to determine the right team or developer who can remediate the risks found. Runtime API security tools' lack of insight into application code has led to long triage times and frustration. Additionally, runtime API security tools can only see the APIs that flow through its traffic path, but can be blind to APIs that don't follow traditional traffic pathways or are internal. Apiiro's ASPM platform gives that visibility. Apiiro ASPM is designed to bridge the gap between runtime API risks and code-level remediation. It connects runtime API risks directly to the code and developers responsible, ensuring swift remediation. This can reduce triage time by over 75%. Enough talking now, as the saying goes, seeing is believing. So here we have an active environment. Let's click on inventory and then APIs. Here we can see an inventory of all the APIs found in the code. Apiiro's Deep Code Analysis, or DCA, provides useful insights on the APIs as seen here. Additionally, any APIs seen and reported by runtime API security tools, such as Akamai API security as seen here, will also provide the runtime endpoint. APIs can be filtered by things such as repository, HTTP method, or the aforementioned insights. Now let's show how this translates into great reductions in MTTR and triage of runtime API security risks by having a code to runtime context by going into Apiiro's API Security Solutions tab. First is the dashboard, which provides a high-level visual overview of the current state of API security. Under the Risks tab is where this is turned into action. Upon first clicking in, the platform presents all API security risks. For this video, we are focusing on runtime API security risks, so let's filter on risks provided by Akamai API security as the source. Now that we have filtered to runtime risks, let's select one and discuss. The opened risk card has a lot of information such as the repository, risk level, insights, code module, and information about the API seen in code. Additionally, all the matched endpoints seen by the runtime tool are displayed along with hosts and whether rootable. Now let's look at the information on this risk we got from Akamai API security. We can also see that the remediation advice is to contact the API developer, but until Apiiro and Code-to-Runtime, this was the long pole in the tent. Triage was often long and painful. Here in the remediation tab, that changes. Here we can see who the main contributor is and who introduced this risk, saving hours of time to figure out. In the timeline tab, we can see the entire history of this API and the risks and remediation steps taken. Finally, we can click on the Actions button and take a plethora of actions to speed remediation, such as open a ticket to the developer or send a Slack message about the risk to the developer. To close out this demo, I want to show a final thing, the coverage map. The coverage map can show us what repositories or applications do not have coverage from our runtime API security tools. In the coverage map, we can filter repositories or applications to show us only the repositories that have not been scanned by our runtime API security tools, such as our strategic partner Akamai's API security product. Once selected, only repositories without Akamai API security protection are listed. This quickly allows you to find unprotected APIs and protect them. This closes the loop on the first pillar of API security discovery. Thank you for taking the time to learn about Apiiro's exciting code-to-runtime offering around API security. This solution fills in the gaps and allows you to fully discover, prioritize, and remediate runtime API security risks in a way heretofore impossible. Take the first step towards a more secure API environment today. Empower your team, reduce risks, and embrace a future where security is seamlessly integrated into your development process.